What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Guys, before I head out on a one-day little getaway with my family before school starts with my kids, I wanted to make this video because I've been seeing a lot of people come join my live streams, watch my videos, and have a lot of comments to make about the current state of the game. And I figured this is a good time, if any, to kind of discuss that with you folks and kind of go over, my thoughts and my take on a lot of what's happening in the game and whether it's going in the right or the wrong direction, and some of the pet peeves I currently have with it, and why I think Netmarble should kind of redirect itself again, but also some of the good things that they have been doing, and some of the more pressing matters I think that we need to discuss. So while I'm doing some fights here and doing some auto modes, I'm going to discuss this with you guys, so feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe. And also, before we go any further with the actual video, the content creator program is coming back actually, guys, in about a week or so maybe. So make sure, if you are somebody who plans to get some free codes and forgot to extend and wants to resupport, you'll be able to support again and get those free codes coming up next season. And again, everybody who joined me on the live streams, thank you so much for doing so. So let's talk about some of the more pressing things, the direction of the game, whether it's becoming more free to play, more pay to win, whatever the case may be, right? So I will say this, Netmarble did a fantastic job for the last year, I'd say year and a half, making this game very, very accessible. Let's use the word. I think that's a good word. Accessible to everybody who wanted to come join and play solo leveling. And you can go back a year or so, year and a half ago, and see a lot of the comments in any of the content creators videos, and you'll see a lot of people praising the game for its free to play capabilities, ability to allow people to catch up, and make it feel like if you join the game, you're not too far along, or you're not too far behind. And if you're somebody who returned, you're also able to catch up and still feel the full flow of the game, including some end game content. Well, that has still been the case. Now, where it becomes a little murky, of course, is where it's we're talking about now the game, top end point of the game, where we're talking about like tier 10 and the higher end stuff. So we'll get more into that. Now, before I get into that part of it, I want to say one quick thing, and I think a lot of people resonate this with me. When the game first came out, a lot of us were like, hey, cool, there's cool costumes for girls, there's a lot of Gunnar costumes, and some of us felt like, okay, cool, this is something that we could deal with for a little while, we'll put up with it, and then eventually, we're gonna get some cool male costumes, or we're gonna get some badass costumes, etc., etc. And I feel like that's very seldom happened, and I know the costume thing has personally bothered me quite a bit, showing Gunnar costumes on a constant basis. I'm personally okay once in a while, but I think it's gone overboard, and I think I spoke out about this a little bit before, and a lot of you do agree that it's gotten a little bit out of hand. And I think many of us would like to see it's kind of the former glory of Netmarble come out with some cooler costumes, something with better design, and that isn't always Gunnar related and doesn't make us men specifically look like all we care about is ass. Now, guaranteed, like, obviously many of you guys do, and I understand, prime allergies, etc., whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, guys, I honestly feel like that's one thing I think has gone too far personally. And some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, some of y'all be like, Payne, who gives a shit? Honestly, a lot of people do. So I'm just speaking up and kind of giving people a perspective, okay? Now, when it comes down to the games, let's go back to another thing. When it comes down to the game's biggest flaw right now, I think the Successor system was its biggest flaw. As cool as it is to be able to use the Monarch of Shadows and Myro, etc., I think a lot of the issues stem from this system itself, the Monarch of Shadows, including the Successor system. A lot of people felt like it didn't include them. A lot of people feel like they were duped with the Monarch of Shadows being quote unquote free to play. And I've said it for quite some time when they announced it, that this is going to be a long-term grind. It's not like where they're going to give you an A5 version of this character right away and everyone's going to be happy. Remember, at the end of the day, guys, it's a gacha, it's a business, and I'm surprised that a lot of people felt that this was a shock that all of a sudden this character came out and they weren't able to max him out right away. This is why it's a permanent ongoing feature, and this is why I implore everyone who's free to play or a small spender to continuously put into this character just for TP purposes. Now, speaking of TP purposes, what the Successor did is amplify the amount of TP required to get the job done in this game. Now, before it used to be not quite as heavy. A lot of free to play players, I'd say maybe a good 10%, were able to finish content as free to play on top end levels. For myself, I was able to do top 3K, top 1K in my free to play, and I always felt, to be honest, that was kind of weird to be able to take that away from spenders who actually were good at the game and, were just not available at the time. And I've always said, I don't think free-to-play players were ever really meant to do that level of content. I still don't think we're meant to do that level of content, but And I think Netmarble has kind of figured that out now and knows that a lot of their spenders have quit, and now they're making it more exclusive to, to spenders in terms of getting the job done. Now, do I think that's the right thing to do? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think Netmarble has kind of shot themselves in the foot by giving dangling a carrot in front of everybody that was able to play this game skillfully, and then they took it away. And I think that's a really, really bad thing to do for your community and for your, players. Now, with that being said, though, are players upset about it? For sure. Absolutely, players are upset, and they're pretty much showing it by doing two things. Number one, they stop playing the game, and number two, they just completely leave in general. And it's unfortunate because I think solo leveling still is one of the best gachas on any platform in terms of gacha games, specifically gacha games. I think it has a lot to offer still, and I think the devs, moving on to Karma and just focusing on other priorities, have kind of lost their way a little bit. But also at the same time, they're out here to make money. Right. And I say this often, and a lot of people are upset that I say it, but it's just reality, guys. They're out here to make money, and they're going to do whatever they have to do to make sure that money flows in. Right. And I think at the end of the day, oops, I messed up there. This is something that we all have to get accustomed to. Either you like it or you don't. I think this is the direction of the game, that the way the game is going. Now, again, do I agree with it? Absolutely not. I think that Netmarble needed to, come up with a better strategy than creating a successor system, building hype around it, and then making that become the new TP standard. Like, in order to finish top 1K, you have to have a max successor. That not only affects your free-to-play players, that affects your pay-to-win players. A lot of players feel forced now to do this when they already have spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on this account, some accounts, and now they feel like, if I don't have a maxed out successor, I won't be able to do this anymore. And they're right. Majority of them can't. Majority of players will not be able to finish this endgame content without having a maxed out successor, and that is not a good look for the game. It's in no shape or form is that a good look, guys. So I think Netmarble really needs to reconsider how they're doing this. The whole structure behind behind the successor system, I think, is flawed. I think it's just a TP sync. It really brings nothing more than a little bit of flash to the game, which we really don't need. Now, with that being said, we're about to have a 4-man team being introduced, a 4-man team mode being introduced. Now, I think this is another method for them to make more money, obviously, right? More teams equals more money, equals a lot more, players relying on advancing their characters, putting money into summoning, etc. Right? So, like, keep in mind, guys, a lot of you guys are newer to this game, and the former glory of this game, I think, was around for quite some time, and I think it's right now going in the direction of, hey, how can we keep the lights on and make people spend more money? And again, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Now, if you guys agree, let me know in the comment sections, of course, but I think Netmarble needs to really rethink this, and they need to make some form of change where not only free-to-play players, because I mean, honestly, let's be real, free-to-play players don't keep the game alive, pay-to-win players do, but pay-to-win players also feel like their money and that they've spent and the time that they spent is still worth what they're doing. Because honestly, it's crazy when free-to-play players quit and the community gets smaller. It's even crazier when pay-to-win players are gone and your whole community of spenders is not spending anymore. Now that becomes a major problem. Major problem. Now, with that being said, I do think they still can make a really good comeback in this if they really want to. I think they can still show that they care and that the game can go in the right direction again. Is there anything we as players can do? I don't think so. I think we've done all we can. I think we've put our best foot forward, and kind of just shown Netmarble that, like, we care about this game. We've made videos about it. We've complained about it. We show up to all the live streams. What else can we do as players, right? We just show up as content creators. We've done as much as we could as well too to promote the game and make sure that people know it's around. And as usual, the marketing is absolute trash. That's something they also need to work on, because we're honestly not their marketing team. We don't get paid to be marketing. And I would love to see Netmarble put a little bit more effort into their own marketing strategies and build around that a little bit more. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, guys. There's a lot to unpack. I've noticed, like, my views on my channel, for example, has become stagnant. Zaf's views are also down, and there's just a lot of people are saying, hey, Payne, like there's nothing to do. Why don't you play another game? Quite honestly, a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't have the time. Number two, I still love my whole community, and I still love this game, and I still feel like this game has a lot to offer. And unfortunately, with the direction of the devs and the way they're going, I don't know how much longer though, right? And I really hope they turn around, because I still truly do believe solo leveling at its core is one of the, if not one, like the best gacha out there right now for me personally. When it comes down to action RPGs specifically, I don't think there's anything that comes close when it regards to, you know, how well this game plays, and just the solo leveling world being represented on here is amazing. So guys, I know I've talked a lot about this already, so would love to hear your thoughts on it. More importantly, let me know what you guys think. You guys can see right here, I've never really struggled on endgame content. I've taken 8 hours. 8 whole hours, guys, to do this, WOBL, just to try to finish Deimos and finish the first. Now we finished Dvorka, obviously, and now we're moving on to Deimos, and you guys can see here the struggle is absolutely real, and he's whooping my butt here quite a bit. Now, granted, I am talking and playing, so it makes it harder, and I did get this guy to 0.6% at one point today. Go watch the live stream if you don't believe me. It was pretty damn close. All I had to do was sneeze on him and he would have died. And I just missed, unfortunately. So there's a lot of things I could have done differently here. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I do love the game still. And I really hope that the devs hear that and know that the players are still all about this game. Like, they really want this game to succeed. We all really do, right? And I think it's just unfortunate to see the direction it's gone and how money hungry this game has become. And I know money is important, don't get me wrong, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself, knowing that money is required, but you know, at the end of the day, like, we do want to see a little bit more compassion from the devs and some better systems out there that doesn't just inflate TP, like actually focuses on bettering the game. 10% people. So there you guys have it. Hope if you guys agree, please leave a comment. Of course, I'm gonna go back and I'm gone tomorrow, so I can't do this, but I'm gonna come back here next week. I'll have enough TP, and I believe we'll have enough, hopefully, to finish this, or at least get close enough to finishing this, and I can do Monarch of Halls, Halls of Monarchs, whatever the hell it's called. The new system coming out next week, which is gonna be even more, you know, quote unquote pay to win, because you can't even access it unless you finish tier 10. So it's going to segregate even more players from being able to do that new content, which makes the next patch even drier than ever. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.